Hey guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Like that delay, James. Welcome to the
Yeah.
13th Floor Podcast. I'm Cece.
I'm Alex.
I'm James.
He's just a couple seconds behind us for some reason.
Uh,
James, how you doing?
Doing okay, all things considered.
All things considered.
It was so stressful today. I was on the phone with my twin sister, and she was talking about like all the things that went wrong that day, and then just crunch dial tone. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't get a hold of her. And I was like, the next person I talk to is going to be the coroner. But turns out she's okay.
Good.
I mean, she did get in an accident, but it wasn't like,
Yeah,
Okay. James. She's okay.
that's good.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Well,
How about you guys?
we're just hanging out. The kids have been, I don't know what's been going on. Is there something in the water? But they've been crazy lately. But we had a breakthrough with Val Gal today, and she used the potty at school. So, yeah, it's weird to think that there might be a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to diapers.
It's exciting
Good
stuff.
deal.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So that's the excitement in our family. And then we've got a vacation coming up, and we're just excited for the weeks ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for vacation.
Yeah. James, do you have any vacations coming up?
No, my vacation was getting my gallbladder out.
Oh my gosh, James. Well, do we have an icebreaker?
We do. What is the worst experience you've ever had with an invertebrate?
With an invertebrate?
Yeah, a creature without a backbone.
James? You think I just know about every invertebrate? I have no idea.
Bugs, squid, snails, crabs, sea urchins, anemones, jellyfish.
Sea fleas?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. It's not a terrible experience with them, but when we went crabbing in Florida once, we didn't see any crabs, but we got a ton of sea fleas, and they're just, they're so gross. They look like little aliens, and they just make my stomach turn when I see them. So, I don't know. That's not terrible. No, I take it back. Okay. Once when I was a young lass, I was taking a shower in my house, which was very old. And we used to have those house centipedes. And one fell on me. And it was the scariest moment of my entire life. I fell out of the shower. I screamed. But the door was locked, and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like crying, "No." But it was just a centipede. But it scared me.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I got stung
Centipedes
by a
are
jellyfish
spooky.
once.
What was that, Alex?
So I got stung by a jellyfish once.
Oof. That's pretty painful.
Yeah.
Is a jellyfish an invertebrate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever seen that jellyfish?
I feel like they're in a different category because it's just water and
There's, I believe
If it's
there's
an
only
animal
two
and it
categories:
doesn't have a
vertebrate
spine.
and invertebrate.
Yep.
Well,
You either have a spine or you don't.
all right. You got me there.
Sorry. What about you, James? I feel like something horrific has happened to you.
I've got two, and one's very topical.
Buttworms.
I had two, and the one's very topical. On one occasion, I was walking in the woods, and I saw this thing on my shirt, and I swatted it away, and it came back, and I'd never seen anything like it before, and it was very aggressive. It kept trying to crawl down my shirt. So I took my shirt off and used it to capture it because it wouldn't quit. So I took it home and wanted to know what this thing was. And it was so aggressive. even when I took it out in an enclosed space, it wouldn't leave me alone. It was so aggressive. I've never seen any animal so aggressive. So I had to kill it. Like, I killed it, and then I took pictures of it, and I sent it pictures to the entomology department at UK. I was like, I've never seen anything like this. What is this? It's got wings like a fly. It's flat like a louse. Turns out it's a creature called a pigeon louse fly. And it's a true fly. And this is really gross. It produces milk for its maggot offspring. It gives live birth.
Ugh.
And it drinks bird blood. But when the birds migrate and it comes across a mammal like myself, it's like, you know what? This'll do. So that's why it was being so aggressive. It wanted my blood.
Ew.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Are they super
And-
common in Kentucky?
They're not. I mean, this was just a really unusual thing. I mean, basically, it was just because we had starling boxes, which people should have starling boxes. They're great. But dang. But what the other one is, I was in the woods and I came back home and I was typing and I was like, that's a freckle on my ring finger I've never noticed before. So I scratched at it and I was like, it's a little tough to be a freckle. Maybe it's a scab. So I kind of scraped at it a little bit and these little legs started twitching. And I freaked out, pulled it off, got a red ring on my belly subsequently, went to the doctor, got tested, did not have Lyme disease, but it was a tick. They're just so sneaky that you just don't even know they're there.
Oh, James.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't like it one bit. But you're right, it is topical because today we're talking about
Ticks.
ew.
Oh, see, I just noticed you got a new freckle on your
Don't.
face.
They absolutely terrify me. They mortify me. Once when we were in Kentucky, we went to go take some photos at this little church in Bowling Green, and I just saw this thing crawling up Gwen's leg, and it was a massive tick.
Oof.
Alex flicked it off before it made a bite, but whew, I'm not a fan. I hate them so much.
Yeah. Oof.
And everybody's talking about them right now because they have been so prevalent around the United States of America.
Absolutely.
Which is why we're talking about them. Right, Alex?
Yes. They came in from spaceships.
Spaceships. That's what all the conspiracy theorists are saying.
Is it?
Dropped here by aliens.
That's right.
Dropped here by
Or
somebody.
they ride Bigfoots. That's where they get all their nourishment,
man.
and then they fall off and they get pulled.
And they bite
polluted our
James.
planet.
And give him a ring on his belly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why it's partially a Bigfoot now.
Well, we didn't determine what order we were talking, did we?
I think mine will probably be the shortest, but I'm also going to be playing a lot of interference with both of you because, bugs. So I figure I'll go first and it'll segue into more specialized topic of ticks, if that's cool with you.
Let's do it. James, I can't wait to hear you talk about bugs.
Yeah, well, bugs and other organisms have been used, like factually, have been used by the government on the population of the United States. We know that. It's a fact. So when people do have these conspiracies about what's going on currently, this is again why it's a nice segue for you all. We know that this has been done before with other organisms. We know it. It's not debatable. Perfect example would be Operation Bellwether and Operation Sea Spray. That was very redundant. Operation Ocean Sea Spray. So Operation Bellwether happened in 1959 and 1962 at a place called the Dugway Proving Ground in Utah. And they were evaluating the potential of Aedes aegypti, a.k.a. one of the worst mosquitoes out there, as a biological weapon. And how did they do this? Did they do this in sort of lab conditions or anything? No. They released swarms of these mosquitoes, knowing that they could have yellow fever, dengue fever, Zika, which has been in the news past few years, and chikungunya, which is one I've never even heard of up until recently, knowing that it could be transmitted over human subjects because they wanted to see what would happen. They wanted to see what the biting behavior would be like, the survival rates of both the mosquitoes and any hapless human that they feed upon, and the dispersal capabilities in hot desert-like conditions. That was the whole motivation for it. So they actually got thousands of volunteers, U.S. soldiers and civilians, who were intentionally bitten by mosquitoes in field trials just to see what would happen with transmission and survival.
That's insane.
And the
who would
logic
put their
there,
hand up to do something like that?
right? Yeah, I mean, it's staggering. And this was actually part of a bigger project called Operation Dropkick and Big Buzz. And they involved releasing 300,000 yellow fever infected mosquitoes over a predominantly black neighborhood in Savannah, Georgia.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was declassified in 1977, and it led to a pretty intense, albeit very quiet, debate over, the ethics of using biological warfare. They did not learn their lesson, but, previously they'd done something in some ways that's worse. I'm sure that both of you are familiar with cleaning your bathroom and noticing that sometimes the shower, especially the corners, gets this little pink film on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever wondered what that film is?
I thought it was fluoride.
No, it's not.
It
It's a mold, isn't it?
Oh,
is not
yeah.
a mold.
What is it?
It is an opportunistic bacterium called Serratia maracescens. And when it's inhaled, it can cause severe infections, UTIs, pneumonia, things like that. Now, here's the thing. The film in your tub, unless you're like snorting it like it's Coke or something, you should be fine. Like, just keep your tub clean, but it should be fine. But if it's aerosolized, then it can pose a real problem because once it gets inside of a human, that's when that opportunistic side comes through. Well, in 1950, Operation Sea Spray was under commence. So the military took the bacterium in these big aerosol vats. And this to me is perfect argument for why like chemtrails could be real, because nobody talked about this. They took planes, they flew them off the coast of San Francisco, and they sprayed aerosolized bacteria. And what they wanted to do was to see how vulnerable a major coastal city would be to an open air biological attack.
Yeah,
so,
I think I talked about this back in one of our World War II episodes.
Yeah. So at the time, this is the official narrative. We thought that Serratia was actually a harmless simulant. So, in other words, they could find people infected, but they would be asymptomatic. Well, a week after they started, 11 people checked into Stanford Hospital with severe and rare UTIs and lung infections. And at least one person, Edward Nevin, an old man who was already recovering from prostate surgery, died. So this is another example of using biological weapons objectively that we know of because they've been declassified by the United States government against United States citizens.
It's insane.
So, yeah. And that's pretty much all I have. I just wanted to set the stage for you guys and then play interference.
Yeah, let's play interference. I think I'm going to go next, Alex. If that's okay, because I feel like my topic will segue into yours.
Sure. Whatever you say.
I'm talking about those disgusting little crumbs called ticks. And the conspiracies that are surrounding them. Because, again, people are talking about them a lot. Right now there are videos that are going around social media of people, like, walking through fields and finding little boxes that have tons of ticks in them just crawling around. I have no idea if those are real. It's hard to know.
I'm sure that ticks' natural habitat is just boxes. I mean,
it's just well,
that just makes sense.
Here's the thing, James. With AI being able to make anything into a video now, you could easily ask AI to make something like this. So it's like,
that's true.
You have no idea if it's real or not. But given how much they've been on the news lately, conspiracy theories about them being created in a lab as a bioweapon are very popular right now. And
hashtag big tick energy.
I get it, because, like, Alex, when you were a kid, did you he's cracking himself up. Did your parents ever tell you, Alex, watch out for ticks out there?
Not one time.
Not one time. Neither did mine. And I spent my entire childhood playing in this field next to my house with Mr. Cobb's yard. And I would just go out there. I would get attacked relentlessly by mosquitoes, but I did not get a tick bite until 6 years ago when we were at
Wow.
Memorial Day weekend at Kentucky State Park. And it was microscopic. I'm amazed that I even saw it. But remember, Wade had to remove it. And the thing that kills me about these things is that you have to be so careful when you remove them to make sure you get the head. And it's just disgusting.
You've got to use tweezers. Don't bind to the old wives' tales will hold a match to it, or pulling it out by the abdomen, or adding alcohol. If you do that, it's just going to regurgitate into your bloodstream and make you more likely to be sick.
See, I'm glad that James was able to share that, because I bought a little tweezer kit just last week because I was like, oh, I don't like the idea of these things. But yeah, they're disgusting. And after I got it, I got that little bullseye mark on my leg for weeks. It was there for weeks. It was very upsetting.
Did you get tested?
No, I didn't, but
Well, I think you should. Yeah. I mean, that's the telltale sign of Lyme. I had the same thing, and I thankfully didn't have it, but.
Well, I'll have to look into it. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I can't go get tested at the moment, but.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, and it's been 6 years, so hopefully I'm okay. But there are several reasons why people are thinking these things are a bioweapon. And some of the reasons, in my opinion, are pretty reasonable to explain. And then some of them are fishy as hell. Yeah. And first, the whole thing that kind of sets off the alarm bells is the discovery of Lyme and its location to where it was. Let me restart that sentence. First is the timing of the supposed discovery of Lyme disease. And the location where it was first identified are both suspicious. So it was first recognized as a distinct illness in the 1970s in Lyme, Connecticut, hence the name Lyme disease. And it was found about 15 miles away from the Plum Island Animal Disease Center, which is a government research facility. And there isn't any official documentation that ticks were directly studied on Plum Island, but they were supposedly looking into foreign animal diseases that could affect livestock primarily. So they were looking at like hand, foot, and mouth disease. They were looking at different swine flus. They were... hand, foot, mouth.
Are you sure hand, foot, mouth and not...
Hand, foot, and mouth, swine flu.
No, isn't it hoof and mouth? Or what? Isn't it something else?
Hoof mouth. I don't know.
Isn't there a cow
hoof
disease?
And mouth. There's foot and mouth. There's hoof and mouth. Hoof and mouth is I think a cow disease because I remember having cows with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, foot and mouth humans also get.
Yeah, we know about it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's come through our house a couple times. But yeah, they were studying stuff like that, and the proximity of where all this happened to Lyme, Connecticut, has people scratching their heads. And the fact that there was a U.S. offensive biological weapons program in operation that was officially ended, at least on paper, by President Nixon in 1969, 1970-ish. And then it was discovered a couple years later. It was identified as a disease. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So people are like, President Nixon said, we need to destroy everything. So what did they do? They destroyed all of their research and biological weapons and stuff like that. Did that include just taking a box of ticks and throwing them out the window? I don't know.
Yeah. Presumably, I remember seeing an interview with one of the staff members, and they wouldn't directly admit to anything, but they lamented the fact that they didn't realize how far deer could swim. So it stands to reason that the deer that were infected with the ticks simply swam from Plum Island to the shore, and they were off to the races after that.
It went from there. Who knows? It's all, they've never talked about ticks in studies officially.
Yeah. What? They've never talked about ticks in studies.
Ticks.
That's a sentence.
Studying. Listen, it's been a long day. My brain is starting to shut down, but
that's
maybe
it's disease.
Yeah, maybe it's that little bullseye mark that I had on my leg so many years ago. Well, now the U.S. Army Biological Warfare Labs, they were primarily located in Maryland at Camp Detrick. We all know what happened there, right, Alex?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
It was
MK
probably 3
Ultra?
years ago. Oh, of course. MK Ultra.
Yeah, they were studying all types of things there. So it's, it's not a far stretch to think that some of the work there could have been like, should we weaponize insects? But this is another sidebar. They were doing all sorts of stuff at Camp Dietrich. Is it
I just want you to
Dietrich or
pronounce it different every
Dietrich?
time you say it.
I'm getting in my own head. No, they had a Project Whitecoat, supposedly, and it had volunteers participate in safety studies for vaccines. And they say, and they were studying like the plague and equine encephalitis and all these things. And they say that there were allegedly no fatalities or long-term injuries during Project Whitecoat, which I am just, I don't know.
Like they would catalog it if there were.
Yeah,
Right.
I just read
Like
that.
these secret labs run by Umbrella have like, X days and since last injury or what have you. Like, no.
Yeah, no, it's just blows my mind. But yeah, that's where MK Ultra took place. And so it's like, was the CIA in one building say, here's some LSD, guys, let's see if we control your brains. And then maybe in another building on the property, they're like, let's inject this tick with some terrible disease and throw it at our enemies. I don't know.
Pocket ticks.
It's it's
Oh,
insane.
man.
But nothing has been officially confirmed. So this is all just theory. It's all conspiracy theory, if you will. But last year, a New Jersey representative named Chris Smith of the 4th District, I looked at his website, he put an amendment out to investigate whether the U.S. military did in fact weaponize ticks with Lyme. And the reason he added this amendment to this bill was, number one, the explosion in the Lyme disease diagnoses. And alpha-gal and all of these different things that are going on right now is just insane. But then also there's a book called Bitten, The Secret Life of Lyme Disease and Biological Weapons by Chris Newby. And she is an investigative journalist, and I don't know if she was doing something before that, but a long time ago she was bitten by a tick and got a terrible case of Lyme. So she went down the rabbit hole and started to investigate and try and look into like where this came from. And she actually digs into the personal files of Dr. Willie Bergdorfer, the last name, who is officially credited with discovering Lyme disease back in the 70s, 80s. I can't remember exactly when, but
70s.
According to her book, it says that he officially, or he did later reveal that he and other bioweapon specialists injected ticks with pathogens in order to cause severe harm to enemies. So it's like, I need to read the book. That's just what the description says online. I need to look into it. But the good news is that Mr. Chris Smith's amendment was passed in December of last year. It's supposedly currently under investigation. So hopefully we'll have a full report on like Lyme disease and ticks sometime in 2027 is when they're hoping to have it out. But Dr. Willie Berg's never worked at Plum Island. All the stuff that he did was at a research facility in Montana. And he did supposedly collab with old Camp Dietrich. the trick. He did some stuff there, but this is where I get confused because he did study ticks, but again, there hasn't been any official admittance that ticks were studied and tested on to be a bioweapon. But then this book says that it's dug into his personal files. And so it's so hard to know anything when it comes to these conspiracy theories.
So the book dug into personal files that no one else has been able to find.
It's not been declassified technically. It's just Dr. Willie Bergdorfer saying, "Hey, I took a tick in my hand and I injected it, and I said, here you go, dear."
I have no doubt that they did that. I also have doubts on if it went down the way that it says.
Well, listen, I want to read the book, but it's $41, and I'm like, I don't know. And the cover's got the bullseye symbol on it. It's like,
Oh my
woo!
goodness.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it
How
one bit.
dramatic.
But I am curious. Like, I do want to read more, but I don't want to buy an audiobook because I don't like listening to audiobooks.
I've never given an audiobook a chance.
I have, and it didn't end well.
Maybe you read a bad
By
one.
end well, I mean I didn't finish it. I got tired of listening to somebody talk.
It was a bad one.
It could have been, but listen,
Let's talk about audiobooks for the rest of this episode.
talk about them. Well, some other reasons why people are like, oh, this is a biological weapon is because of the way that dicks. Oh no. I knew it was about to happen. Ticks. Cover your ears, people. I'm so sorry I did that. No. Ticks spread disease easily.
Yeah, they do.
They can
Usually college campuses.
Stop it. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I can't speak anymore. The last reason that I'm going to say people think that this is all conspiracy is because humans favor logical explanations and intentional explanations. So it's easier to think, oh, ticks are a bioweapon that was created by the government versus just thinking, oh, this is just something that happened naturally because, So, anyways,
yeah.
I'm done. I can't speak anymore.
These big ticks, they've got lots of diseases. As you've mentioned, a couple of them. Lyme disease, obviously being the most popular that we've all heard about. That trademark bullseye that everybody loves to look for after a brief jaunt through the fields. And for those that don't know or haven't had Lyme disease, or you're just wanting to see if maybe you have it right now, it has a lot of symptoms. Again, the bullseye is like one of the earlier symptoms, but usually there's fever, fatigue, headaches, joint pains. It's really flu-like. And if it's untreated, you could even get things like arthritis, neurological issues, and even heart problems. And that's why people take it so seriously. Is it runs a wide gamut, but it can also lead to permanent things. It's not just a brief illness.
Exactly.
Another one, and some of these might be similar, so I might blow through some of these and then hover on the more interesting ones. Anaplasmosis is something, if you have black-legged ticks in your area, this is something that they carry. And again, feverish symptoms. It's particularly dangerous, though, for older adults and immunocompromised people. Let's see. Let's get some more interesting ones. Here in Georgia, we got the Lone Star tick. That's our big problem.
Yeah.
We don't really deal with the black-legged, but the Lone Star, I'll get to that one later, but they bring the hot topic to,
exactly.
infectious, or I guess non-infectious, syndrome around these parts. Very exciting. Let's see. Problem is a lot of these are just headaches and rashes, high fevers.
Yeah.
Anaplasmosis
isn't too bad because you just take antibiotics for that.
Yeah, and each region has their own disease, which is kind of interesting. Like there's Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Oh, yeah, I knew people with that.
And then there's let's see. There's ehrlichiosis, which is like it can be fatal if it's not treated, and it's very flu-like. But that's what's kind of interesting about some of the diseases that come with the ticks is like, the symptoms are flu-like, but a lot of times if you don't get treated, which is why you need to find if it is a tick bite, is it can get much worse and even result in death. There is one parasitic disease, though, other than these, I'll just call them generic flu-like ones. They are serious.
Yeah.
It's called babesiosis, which is babesiosis.
I don't like that.
And no,
Mhm.
it's not a French man talking to a woman he likes.
Boy. Boy.
But this is again, what's interesting about this one is, yes, it's got the trademark flu symptoms, but it's very weird. All right, it's especially problematic for people without something, without an organ. What organ, if someone's missing it?
Let
Is it?
James guess because I read your notes.
Oh,
What is the
What's
organ,
the
James?
illness? What's the illness called?
it's parasitic and it's called babesiosis.
Babesiosis. I'm going to guess, tonsils?
It's a malaria-like parasite that affects people very severely that don't have spleens.
Spleen.
Oh, well, you kind of need a spleen anyway, so yeah.
Okay.
I thought people could live without them. I mean, I guess people walk around without that spleen. I am thinking. I am thinking of something else.
Actually, you're right. You can live without it. That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
I thought you could.
You don't need a spleen. That's crazy. Okay.
Okay. Thank God. I was like, I thought people could live without this thing.
I thought you could get partial splenectomy, but not the whole dang thing. Dang.
Ain't no stinking spleen. Now, the viruses are where things get a little more interesting, and we see an uptick in fatality.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the Powassan virus disease comes from black-legged ticks, so we don't have to worry about it in our area too much. Fever, headache, meningitis type stuff, but if no treatment, up to 10 to 15% fatality rate. And if you survive it, long-term neurological effects. Because it's one of the few viruses that can pass through the blood-brain barrier.
This is making me ill. Ill.
Yeah. So, and I was looking into what does neurological effects in this type of situation really mean, and it's a lot. It's kind of like everything. And this is the common effects for survivors. A lot of people say like brain fog, persistent faint brain fog that doesn't leave them. Permanent declines in processing speed is the way a lot of people describe it. Headaches, the typical muscle weaknesses. Some people even have motor issues, so like a slight paralysis, speech, swallowing difficulties, and then of course balance and coordination issues. And then some people even say eye movement problems.
What's that mean?
So it's like partial paralysis of the eye or involuntary eye movements.
Okay.
Ooh.
So either or.
Neither of those sound fun.
And then some people even report personality changes or emotional lability, so mood swings. But I would say these possible effects kind of, to me, read like a symptom of having one of these other problems.
Sure.
So that's a rough one. You don't want to get the whatever it's called, Powassan virus.
No.
There's also a bourbon virus, so I feel like a lot of the people up in Kentucky might like this one. But it's just flu-like illnesses and somewhat fatal. So again, we're seeing a lot of these things, but
like how you're just somewhat fatal.
Yeah, somewhat. And then we'll get to the good ones.
The good ones. Oh my gosh.
Don't be nervous. There's nothing wrong with this, as long as you're a vegan.
I'm not a vegan.
Now, but another one is called, as a lot of people have heard in the news, alpha-gal syndrome, or AGS, or red meat allergy. And it's not an infection, but an immune reaction to, I guess, the sugar alpha-gal that's in mammalian meat. So beef, pork, lamb, anything you really want to eat. I'm sorry.
Except primates, funny enough. So the elites will be fine because they eat people.
Okay, good to know. At least there's an alternative. And so this was triggered by Lone Star tick bites, which populations are surging in Georgia, so that's good news. Um,
It's surging everywhere. There's a 9,800% increase this year.
yeah, it's pretty big right now.
0.125% of Americans have it.
Yeah.
It's
And so
insane.
one of the first symptoms a lot of people report is hives, GI tract issues, and then some people are even experiencing like anaphylaxis. But
Yeah.
the interesting thing is that it could take hours after eating with
That's
the
what I
meat
read.
for it to kick up.
People will eat
Yeah.
dinner and then wake up in the middle of the night and not be able to breathe. And it's like, that is horrifying.
I
Yeah.
told you guys about my alpha gal exposure, right?
No.
No.
Okay, yeah, this is not a bit, by the way. This happened about a decade ago. I got bit by a tick, and because I got bit by ticks a lot, I probably had a dozen tick bites over the span of my life. And somebody was grilling out, and I ate a steak, and I asked him, I was like, "What did you add to this steak?" Because my lips were swelling up, my tongue was swelling up. And they were like, just typical stuff, salt, pepper, oregano. And I was like, I'm not allergic to any of that. And, at that point, everybody noticed that my lips had swelled up tremendously. I took Benadryl, went to bed. Next day I was okay. Went to see my doctor. She told me about alpha gal, that it was a
Alpha-gal.
rare thing, very rare thing that was almost unheard of. And I abstained. I was basically a vegetarian for about a month. And then I tried meat again and was okay.
I was going to ask you, is it something that, because I've read some people say, oh, it's permanent. And then I've heard
It's
some people say that you can like
it's
detox and
not
it's not permanent.
it's
See,
not
this,
really permanent.
well, here's the thing. The most recent cases where we're seeing this 9,800% increase, people are having long-term issues with meat. So it could be permanent for them. And that just lends more credence to the idea that there is something artificial about this, that, I got infected with the alpha strain of alpha gal. Well, not strain, because again, it's a sugar, but, it's been augmented in some capacity.
I would argue in some ways the people that we are recently seeing have not had it long enough for us to know if it's permanent.
That's
That
possible.
would
I
be
mean,
a
really,
little bit of
the
my
reason why this happens is it's your immune system throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
yes.
Normally, when you eat meat, you're exposed to those sugars, and your body says, "Oh, these are the sugars that are in meat." Okay, but when you get bit by a tick, your immune system sees this cocktail of all sorts of nasty things, and it just assumes, well, this sugar must also be part of that, and so when it sees it, it goes on high alert.
Yeah, exactly. And it says most people are able to improve and outgrow it. Now, again, these new
Mm.
strains, who knows? But it says it could take even months, even years to get over it.
Ugh.
You need one of the biggest things is to make sure you don't get any more tick bites because they do accumulate within the body. Um, the IgE levels
Mhm.
will decline naturally, but if you keep getting tick bites, it'll make it much harder to ever get over it. Um, it's what a lot of people do is they do these slow doses, or these really sorry, not slow, but really minuscule doses of meat, and slowly rebuild their tolerance in their system, which they've actually started doing that with nuts.
Yeah,
Like people with
there have been some crazy advances in allergy kind of
Yeah.
fixing.
Which is funny because it's basically just homeopathy, but not pseudoscience.
yeah. And so they're doing that, and then there's other therapies as well. Like they're calling it omalizumab. Oh my goodness, omalizumab. This is a injection that they do, and it's like an anti the sugar biologic, which I use a biologic every couple of weeks. Um, that helps with allergies and asthma, and some studies are showing that it actually dramatically reduces the symptoms of alpha gal as well. So that could help. But the good news is a lot of times it is reversible. There's nothing you can take to cure it. Your body just kind of has to hopefully
Figure
get
it
over
out.
it, or at least decrease the symptoms at the hopefully. I would say at the very least, but then there's going to be that person that just has it forever.
I
And
don't
you
like
just don't
that at
want to.
all.
You don't want to get that person home.
No.
Uh, But yeah, it is growing rapidly in the U.S. to like a really alarming degree, which is what's kicked off a lot of the conspiracies. Some of them may be founded, some of them may be unfounded, but I don't know. It's so odd that it's kind of hard not to get swept up in it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did not know about, I did not know that there was tick paralysis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. But the most interesting thing about it is that it's so easily resolved. Like you literally just remove the tick. And then it says
Yep.
everyone recovers. And there's no infection, there's nothing. You just almost immediately recover after you remove the tick. I thought that was crazy. I had no idea that was a thing. So yeah, I mean, a lot other countries outside the U.S. are going to have a lot of other diseases. So I did focus entirely on the U.S. because it's where I live.
Yeah.
But yeah, every country in the world has, or not every country, but every continent, I guess I'll say. Well, that's not even true either, though. Africa has some. Europe, Asia, they all have some sort of tick with its own spin on the disease. So, very weird, very interesting. I wish I had looked up if the other countries have much alpha gal. I didn't even think
They
about looking that
shouldn't,
up.
and that's to me is the big sign that this is that'll be the canary in the coal mine. If somehow Lone Star ticks, which have not crossed over into other countries, end up in Europe or Africa or Asia, then we'll know something ain't right. Like, oh, it just accidentally got on a boat. Isn't that a weird coincidence? Like, if that happens, then we'll know that this is 100% planned. Because there
Yeah.
were talks about reducing meat consumption to save the planet and how this could be utilized. You know, that's something that is on record.
Well, it looks like it is in other countries around the world, according to Grok.
And it says it's not just in Lone Star ticks, which is not how I understood it. Interesting.
Yeah.
The castor bean tick in Europe can do it.
Paralysis
that
The
begs
tick
the
in
paralysis
Australia.
tick in Australia. Oh, I'm glad we didn't get that one.
And that begs the question, how did this very specific protein that was virtually unheard of up until the recent decade become a global phenomenon?
17 countries across 6 continents have had instances of.
I read some theories that part of it is due to a resurgence in like deer populations,
Yeah,
at least in
that's
the
what I read too.
U.S.
Yeah,
Because there have been a lot more deer in recent years, which means it's going around, and all the ticks are like, yum,
Yeah.
yum, yum. Let's give it
And-
to a human.
and winters in the South have been a little more mild,
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
would say, over the last few years, which they're also attributing to it. And the other thing they're attributing to it in terms of people getting it, like getting the bites more often on top of that, is that a lot of people are moving out of cities and expanding further into the country, which means they're brushing up against ticks more than they used to as well.
Yeah.
Well, here's my issue with that. If this were true, if that part were true, we know that this can infect other animals. We know that it can infect carnivores, for example. If this has always been around and they've just naturally, stayed in the woods for the most part, you'd think this would have caused a collapse of the food chain because carnivores would have been infected and been unable to even get any of their calories. You know, a puma gets bit by this, it's going to starve.
Oh, so interesting. I've never really.
How would it cause a puma to starve?
Well, because it can't
Well,
eat
because
meat.
it would be allergic
yeah,
to
you're
meat.
right. You're right. Alpha gal. I was just thinking about ticks in general, not just.
I guess we're assuming that the puma would have a reaction that's severe enough to not want to keep eating meat.
That's true.
Because it'd probably put up with being itchy.
I don't know. There's a lot to think about. Part of me is like, this is fishy. But then part of me is also just like, maybe this is just an unchecked tick infestation. Because we haven't really, I feel like the government hasn't done anything to try to address ticks.
I mean, they haven't done it. They've actually gone backwards on screwworms. I don't know if
Yeah,
you guys have seen that, but
I have
we
seen that
kept
that's
those in
causing some
check for.
issues.
I'm livid over that, by the way. That is something that, in my opinion, I don't care how much it costs either. Every single country in North, Central, and South America needs to have a cooperative. And this is coming from someone who loves all animals. There needs to be a cooperative where these flies are eradicated. And it would be easy. You could do it in about 5 years. All you have to do is what we've been continuing to do, which is irradiate the males. The females only breed once. They lay sterile eggs. There's no subsequent generation. That's how we kept them out of North America. We do that all the way down to Argentina. No more screwworms.
Yep. But nope, they're back in Texas.
Yep.
Yay. And they think that the prices of meat are going to continue to go up because they're not sure what's going to happen with this situation.
Ugh.
Isn't it great?
And,
So annoying.
and they
But
will bite humans.
And it's pushing people further away from red meat, which I feel like that's another reason so many people think that this is very suspicious.
Yeah.
It's because there's been people saying that they want people to eat less meat. We should all go vegan. So it's like, why is it? It's just,
We're inundated with all these articles about, is cockroach milk the new protein? There's again, it feels like they're trying to make that Snowpiercer movie seem like the sexy new way to live your life.
Yeah, I don't know, but now I feel like I need to go get checked for Lyme disease.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, that screwworm, it's a Latin name, is Coccinelloma hominivorax. In other words, man-eater.
Ooh.
Interesting. Huh.
Well, maybe we'll do an episode on that in the future.
Maybe.
Listen, guys, I can't talk about ticks anymore. I've got the itchies. I'm done. Alex, who does our music?
Our music is by Grant Cook. You can find his music on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. That's the same thing. Amazon Music, anywhere you listen to music.
And then we need James to drop us a piece of wisdom.
Yeah, this one's actually more serious. If you have a tick on you of any sort, you should still get checked out. A lot of people are getting ticks that don't have the Lone Star mark and thinking, oh, well, I'll be fine. Here's the thing. The males bite too, and they don't have the Lone Star mark.
Ooh, that is a good piece of wisdom. James, what should somebody do if they get bitten? Aside from testing, obviously, what should you do?
Remove the tick as soon as possible, using tweezers as close to the piercing, sucking mouth parts as possible, and get tested. That's pretty much it.
And then remove that thumb, just in case.
Well, actually, I will add to that. Again, I love animals. I don't like killing things, but burn that sucker when you're done so it doesn't bite somebody else.
I was told that you can also put them. They have tick kits where you can put it in a little vial and send it off to get it tested.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I've just been taking a butane lighter and lighting them up. That's better.
Well, guys, we hope you don't get hit.
Hit.
We hope you don't get bit by a tick, but we do hope that you'll tune in for our next episode when we're going to be talking about
don't we?
disappearing scientists.
Disappearing scientists.
Ugh. Well, until next time, we hope that you can
keep it strange.
strange.